What if Deku was Dr. Eggman? In this What If, Deku is about 20 and he works on Island as a scientist. As he's preparing for a meeting, uh, Orbot, Cubot, please send in the analysis report for the meeting today. Yes, Dr. Robotnik. So apparently you have a meeting with the, Japan's military. Apparently so does David Shield. Yours is upon your new robot design, wanting to implement it into the army. Yes. E-23 Missile Wrist. He'll make a fine exception, and it will throw my name up there and one of the top scientists in the world. Have you prepared the presentation? Yes, Doctor. I've prepared the presentation with Cubot, and it seems that everything is going according to plan. Good. But there might be a bit of a bug. As Dr. Robotnik Deku turns around. What bug? Well, it seems to only follow your commands, Doctor. That's how I programmed it for the time being. I can't just have someone come in here and give it a random command that would destroy my lab. Oh, then it wasn't a bug? Of course not. I programmed that specifically so there was no mishaps in the lab. I apologize, Doctor. Don't feel so bad, Orbot. After all, I did not inform anyone about it. For good reasons. But now, he grabs some papers. I better get to that presentation. After all, I can't have this presentation go south. Not after the last few attempts. As he's walking towards the presentation room. What a good day. As he starts looking out at all that. Stupid quark researchers. They must realize the future of the society relies on robots. Robots that can be controlled. That can nullify the quarks. Once I implement it into the army, they'll see how useful they really are. As Dr. Robotnik, shows up to his waiting room. Excuse me, ma'am, but when will the Japan military and heroes show up for the meeting? They've already started with the meeting with David Shield. That was approximately set a schedule before yours. As Dr. Robotnik Deku thinks in his head, They always schedule David Shield above mine. We're both quarkless, but they, for some reason, procure quark analyzation research more vital than robots. It really gets on my nerves. They must understand that the future of the society is not with the quark research. If anything, quarks are nothing but a defect. As basically a bell rings. It seems like the meeting's over. As several heroes, military officers come out of the room, including All Might, Nezu, Hero Safety Committee President, and several others. As Dr. Robotnik comes over there with some papers. Excuse me, ma'am. Today I have a presentation with you scheduled. I am sorry, Dr. Robotnik. I heard that you had a very splendid research project to show me today. But unfortunately, I had a very emergency call, which I must leave. I will leave one of my subordinates to check it out, though. Thank you, ma'am. As Dr. Robotnik thinks, she had enough importance to check on David Shield's work, but not mine. I guess the secretary should be enough to pass along the information. Very well. Will any heroes be attending? Just one. As Shoto Aizawa shows up. You must be the underground hero I've been hearing about. How do you know? The name's Dr. Robotnik. As Deku puts his hand out to shake, as Aizawa shakes it. How do you know of my name? You see, I was doing some research on heroes lately, in case things went south. It's lucky to have you as a hero, I suppose. What's with the I suppose? Well, your corps could be easily turned against the heroes if you so choose, of course. So, of course, it would be smart to think of a countermeasure. As Aizawa thinks, this man is already thinking ahead if I had ever turned on the heroes. I would never do that. I can make sure of that. Well, it was just a theory. There's no 100% proof that you won't, though. But anyway, shall we get on with my presentation? Now, there was a room set up for this. As they walk into another room. So, where is this robot? Just a moment, we gotta go down the elevator. Orbot, will you please press the elevator? Of course, Doctor, as it said over the intercom. Orbot, yes, it's one of my more minor robots that helped me out during my office. As it presses a button, as it lowers into an observation room where there seems to be like a empty testing area. Alright. As he pulls the mic up as they enter the control area. Why is there no one else in here, Doctor? Well, I technically do all my work alone, and I only have Orbot and Cubot to keep everything in line. So I like to keep it on the down low. Also, there's a very exclusive trust issue. They don't safeguard my files like David Shield does. So, I make precautions. Very well, that is a pretty smart move, I have to admit, Dr. Robotnik. I don't see the problem, really, from the Secretary of the Hero Safety Commission. And why is that? Because I doubt anyone's going to steal anything on robotics. No one has taken an interest in robotics for years. It's all about quark research nowadays. This better impress me, or else I'm not telling the Hero Safety Commission anything about this. Easy, I'm pretty sure this will impress you. As E-23 missile wrist. Please turn online. As lights would focus on E-23 missile wrist. Online. Alright, destroy the surrounding areas with your, well, rockets, please. As rockets would propel out of its chest, and it would chain, with its chain, well, wrists, just blowing up the area, showing how it would do in a fight. See, isn't it good? It is very special in combat. Very useful, especially within a war zone, I must say. It can do a lot of destructive damage in a short period of time. Will it take orders from anyone else? Not yet. I've programmed it to only take orders from me. But I've had a report that there might be a little bit of a technical issue. I'm looking into it. You sure there was nothing wrong with the robot? I'm sure. I checked it before, well, y'all came. I see. As Aizawa thinks it's too destructive. This robot is too destructive. What if it fell into the wrong hands? Have little faith. I'm a genius. Eraserhead. I know what I am doing. A genius enough to where a robot can get hacked? I'm 100% confident it won't. But there are people with quarks that can override machines. I must agree with Eraserhead. Machines are not useful, especially in this era with quarks. I'm sorry, Robotnik, but I have not taken... Although I am impressed by its capabilities in the testing field. But this robot is not formidable enough and would cause too much damage if it was used in real fighting. But listen, it is good I can make other designs, other robots that are more useful. After all, this was just mere one design. And it was the only one that got finished in time, unfortunately. After all, you don't really fund my department that much, so it takes a bit of a rush nowadays. Listen, Dr. Robotnik, I have finalized my thing. I've not taken an interest in yours whatsoever. David Shield has a much more proposition to enhance people's quarks. This is over. As Eraserhead leaves, as the Hero Safety Commission officer that was still talking. Listen, I do not like your robotics, so we're shutting them down unless you can look up more into quark research or more quark elevated stuff. We will be shutting down all of your side projects. No, listen, these can be very useful. I could simply turn in several helping firefighters, helping with plenty of others. That's it. I'm canceling this. I'm talking to the Hero Man's president. So, you either cancel all your projects or be kicked out of I Island. Very well. You may leave. As the man leaves, as Deku goes to his, the control panel before hitting it, those fools! Do they not realize my genius? I create a robot that could really help in the field. Strong, and yet tracking. Able to do a lot of destruction to injure and incapacitate villains with demolished areas. They think it's too much of a threat, and they want to cancel all of my robotic projects? Orbot Cubot. Yes, Dr. Robotnik? No. For now, I want you to move all working projects off I Island. But sir, they're going to cancel and try to confiscate my gear. I want you to remove it. I have exactly at least a few hours, maybe a day at most. And question, who is currently on the computer right now? Cubot, sir, what do you need? Have they tried to delete any files? Yes. All files on the main computer have been deleted by unknown access. What about the backup computer? All data has been saved on the backup computer, Dr. Robotnik. Good. Now listen, transfer all data into a single hard drive, then burn it. I don't care, delete the backup computer. As Orbot speaks, what are you doing, sir? Simply taking my work more elsewhere. If they don't appreciate my genius, I will show them, by force if I have to. They obviously don't understand the brilliance of my technology. It's highly advanced, yet they shun it like it's nothing. They're more curious on David Shield and his projects making quark stronger. When robots can work so more effectively, counter a lot of the quarks in the society. Yet they shun it like it's nothing. Especially, they've tried to delete all of my data without telling me. Already deleted the entire central computer database. It was eventually they either gonna force me to transfer to quark analysis or something. Something way too peculiar for my taste. And a waste of my brilliant mind. And they always shun me and just look over David Shield major projects. I could have easily made a quark amplifier. But no, I prefer to continue with my own research. After all, my research is very more important than some quark amplifier. Question, how are all the parts going? I currently have some of the other robots taking all the parts to your personal vessel. Good. I'm so glad I bought the lower thing of this area. So basically, Deku had secured a hangar bay underneath I Island. It was used for storage and all that, but it also used to be an old sub-site. So there's a very old submarine that Dr. Robotnik has been fixing up. Question, how many robots do you have on it? Currently, we still have a bit more work to do. Very well. Should we take Missile Wrist as well, sir? No, leave Missile Wrist. And do not call me again unless it's in something important. Orbot and Cubot. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As he ends the call. As he simply walks down towards E23 Missile Wrist. Dr. Robotnik. E23 Missile Wrist. I have a job for you. What is it, creator? Once all of my project files and equipment is off Island, cause a mayhem. I told them there was a bit of a bug in your system, so if you go haywire, it doesn't really matter, it's just their fault. And they ask where I am. I simply say I left. Y'all get to deal with the bugs that were left behind. Does that mean I cause much destruction as ordered? Yes, destroy this place to the ground if you need to. I don't care. And if you happen to come across a few scientists amongst your way, you can go ahead and delete them, supposedly. After all, they are inferior-minded than I thought. When I came here, I expected brilliant minds, similar to my own. But no, they obviously procure different research over mine. Although it's very foolish of them. I've had enough of having most of my projects rejected. You're the 10th project that has been rejected by both the Hero Safety Commission, heroes, and military groups all over. If they can't see my genius, I will show them my genius, and they will regret making an enemy of Dr. Robotnik. Sir? What is it, Cubot? Oh, well, I might as well tell you, as apparently several security guards are looking for you. What? Yes, apparently they decided to remove you from the facility. So they're planning to get rid of me, are they? Where are they now? They're currently heading to the hangar bay where you are now. Alright, let me get into the secret escape route. After all, I knew this day might come one day. They want to get rid of my research, and possibly transfer me to a more useful study. If not, they'll try to eliminate me for what I know here on Island. I know too much, and they know that. They may fear my machines, or think they're unsuperior to their quarks. But soon they will realize that the machines are more valuable than any quark. Doctor? Yes, Cubot. They'll be there in about a minute. Well, I guess that's the last of the monologue. Anyway, get rid of them as well, please. E-23 missile wrist. Of course, Doctor. As he goes over towards, well, a chair in the room, as he sits in it, presses a button, as it goes down. As the security guards enter the room, Dr. Robotnik, come out with your hands up, as they would enter the area. What about that machine? Don't worry, Dr. Robotnik powered it off. We made sure of that by asking the hero and the Hero Safety Commission person that was in here. Oh, that's good. But where is he? He was last seen in here. As it would just open its chest, load the rockets while they're looking around. Targets acquired. As they hear this, they turn around and a bunch of missiles just happen to hit every single security guard, blowing them up. As he would then look at the ceiling and fire his wrists, blowing up the ceiling. Orders are orders. As then claws would reach out from his missiles to bring him up to another floor. Must eliminate. As he would fire, blowing up several floors. As we go to Zuku Midoriya. As he just got into the bottom floor, as he got out of his chair. Ah, sir, it seems you're back. Where's Orbot? He's just finishing loading up the last of the equipment. Good. The database has been saved on the sub's internal system, and the hard drive is right here, sir. As he grabs it out of Cubot's hand. Very good. Get aboard. As the sub seems to be advanced than what it was. They left Dr. Robotnik with an old rusty sub. He's now turned into a high-tech, a little bit of a stealth sub. Alright. Do we still have the access codes to the waterway systems? It appears so, sir. It was saved on the backup hard drive. Excellent. Descend us. As it starts to descend. Also, turn on the security cam footage. We still have access, correct? As ordered, I have already accessed the security cameras of Island. Good. Put on E-23 missile wrist. I gotta see what he's doing right now. Let's see. As the island is basically getting destroyed, blowing up in several areas. Very good, missile wrist. Patch me through to his external earpiece. Are you sure that's a good idea, Dr. Robotnik? No. They're gonna figure out it's me sooner or later, so I should go by a new alias. How about Dr. Eggman? Brilliant idea, Doctor. Yes, I know. Now let's detach and get out of here. Detaching sub. As the sub would drop, as they go underwater. As missile wrist is blowing up the place, security guards firing guns, all that, using their quarks trying to stop it, but no luck. Missile wrist, come in. Dr. Robotnik. No. For now, keep on calling me that, but do not let anyone hear what I have to say. Understood? Switching to only internal speaking. Excellent idea. Now tell me, how does your little mission go right now? Currently, your entire Bay Area has been destroyed. Security has been eliminated in the area, as then a few more bullets hit its back, as it unhooks its wrist and swings it over towards the security, blowing him up. Dealing with people right now. Continue with your job. You're doing an excellent job, Missile Wrist. Now I want you to do one more thing for me. What is it, Dr. Robotnik? Find David Shield's lab and destroy it. I will not have them think he is the superior one. And if you happen to find him or his, well, precious daughter, do not hesitate to do, you know what I mean. Very well. As he's making its way over to David Shield's lab, as then a scarf would wrap around one of its wrists, as it would turn its cam and sees Eraserhead. Ooh, that was the hero that came into interview with the project of Missile Wrist. I thought that he had you under control, but apparently this is more of a reason why that he should have never worked on this. As he would then just let go of his wrist, as the wrist would go towards Aizawa. As he would jump back, as where he was standing blew up. Move out of the way or die. Not going to happen. As he's trying to use his quark, but nothing happens, it's a machine. As it starts firing missiles, as Aizawa has no effect. As someone would point a missile and fire at it, blowing up at its chest, but doing barely anything. Moving towards David Shield's lab. As it would raise both of its wrists and toss it down at David Shield's lab. But someone would jump on the roof, grab both of Missile Wrist's arms, and take the explosion. Who is this? Who dares to interfere with my little plan? Else, clearing footage now, as the smoke clears. The #1 hero of Japan. Oh, I didn't account for his strength. Okay. Listen, Missile Wrist. New objective. Field data on All Might. Very well. Firing rockets. As it's saying several rockets out towards All Might. As All Might would jump, avoiding several, but hitting them away from David's lab. As he would go over and punch towards, well, Missile Wrist. As he would move one of his wrists to block. As All Might hit it, it exploded and shattered the wrist. As the robot falls back. Damage to left arm. Firing all rockets. As he would fire rockets at random, hitting everywhere. Hitting some scientists, hitting some security guards. Landing near Aizawa. As then All Might would go in for another punch as it uses other wrist to block as it's blown up and torn to pieces by All Might's punch. As then All Might would throw it towards the head, basically taking a little bit of part of it off as it would fall onto its knees. Surrender! As then he would notice it's a machine. What? It's a machine? As Aizawa comes over. Yes, it was made by Dr. Robotnik. He did say there were a few bugs. Where he's talking about this? Well, it was too dangerous. Many people lost their lives. The doctor is going to need to be held responsible for this. As then someone comes out. Well, I don't think you have to. It seems that the doctor's entire lab, and we can't find him anywhere. We think he may have been a casualty in the wreckage of his robot's mayhem. As its eyes still recording. Ah, so they think I'm a casualty. More of a good reason to go as a new alias. And when I make more robots, they will think it's not me. Missile Wrist, you still online? Barely functional. Good. Admit self-destruct sequence. Dr. Robotnik's orders 3. As then, the number 3 would appear on its little visor as All Might sees this, as he would rush over to grab Aizawa and the other one. 2, 1. As it would blow up, destroying a huge area. All Might managed to save Aizawa and the person informing him. That was close. Although I did get some interesting field data on All Might, it doesn't seem to have been too effective. He's way stronger than predicted. That metal barely stood a chance of blocking his attacks. I'll need to come up with something more durable for the next time I come against him. But for now, Missile Wrist did really well. Doctor? Where are we going? I know exactly where. And what would that be, Doctor? You know that little station I was outposted a while ago before moving towards Island? The abandoned lighthouse lab, sir? Yes, that one. It's built in with a full hangar bay and everything. Enough to store my little inventions. So, how long until we get there? Well, the sub's thrusters were not fully complete, Doctor. If I had completed them, we'd be there in about 30 minutes, correct? Correct, but at our current space, it will take us about 2 hours. Let's just hope that cloaking technology is still effective. After all, I can't get caught by radar. Not after this. As, of course, they were doing a full-on investigation towards Dr. Eggman's area. As they were doing the investigation... Oh, did you happen to set off the device I told you to set off? What device? Dr. Eggman. The device to blow up the substation. I didn't get no such orders. Oh, you mean the silly little ball thing? As Cubot and Dr. Eggman Deku looks over at Cubot. What did you do with the bomb? I simply set it at the front entrance of the door of the hangar. You idiot! If they walk into there and they get all that valuable equipment that I could not get back on the sub because we filled everything up, you are going to be scrap, you hear me? Well, I don't think that will be, as in the footage of the area appears on the screen. Why did the camera turn on? It means someone's entering the sub area. Very well. As a random doctor would enter there, or scientist, as he would just kick the little orb, as it would then just beep, beep, beep. What's that noise? As it looks over at the small ball that he kicked, realizing it's a bomb, as it blows up the entire area. I can't believe I'm saying this, but a stupid scientist just saved my work. Cubot, you actually did a good job for once. Congratulations. Now you two get back to work. I want the sub's engines at full capacity so we don't have to wait 2 hours to get to the destination. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Dr. Eggman. As they both rush out of the room. As he sits down, as he messes with his beard. Do I have any other remote robots that I made? Let me see. Well, let's see if I can access the old model. Old model of robots. Eggbot, do you come? Response. It seems only 2 Eggbots from the old lab are still operational in the Lighthouse lab. Very well, I'll have them prepare for our arrival. As he gives them orders. Now to sit back and wait. I wonder how much the investigation is going to be on Island. After all, guarantee there could have a bit of a problem for a while. That will delay David Shields' research, making any future plans he had with that meeting pretty much poof. This is what you get for underestimating Dr. Eggman. Doctor? What is it? I'm monologuing. Cubot got his head stuck in one of the propellers outside. Get one of the Eggbots to help unstick him, please. And if you don't have that fixed within 30 minutes, I am going to both put you into the scrap pile. Yes, Dr. Eggman, as he leaves quickly. Those two are not the brightest, but they sure do make for at least good, well, people that support and, well, help me, I suppose. And they're pretty good in their work, even though they're complete imbeciles. And they were made of the earlier models, so I'll just keep them around. After all, it would be a waste. They help me gather field data. That's basically all what they're useful for anyway. As in, let's see, can I get these files? Is that a bunch of files will appear on screen? Ooh, was this the applicants for the UA's entrance exam? Let's take a look. As he presses on that one. Of course, no one with a... They're only accepting people with quarks. Why am I not surprised? As he's about to click off, one of them catches his eye. Computer, zoom in on the file known as Todoroki. Zooming in. If I remember correctly, that's the number 1 hero's son. Interesting. Question. Computer. As it doesn't really respond but is waiting for a command. Which of the robots would be an excellent choice for my next field test? Computer cannot decide. I guess I'll just have to go through my own little decision. As he's thinking, but I can't use any of the ones in the sub yet. There is not exactly an exit area for them in the sub. As Orbot and Cubot come back as they're soaked. It seems you two are back already. The engines are complete. Good, now put this thing in full throttle. As the sub would just basically zoom underwater. As we would go to, well, back to Island. As they're doing an investigation. It seems like Dr. Eggman Dr. Robotnik most likely perished with his own sight. It seems that one of his robots, Missile Wrist, went out of haywire. We also recovered this security footage, which they don't know has been altered. Missile Wrist. Shut down. Command not taken. Command noted. Destroy. That is not the command I gave you. I said shut down this immediately. Aiming rockets at Dr. Eggman. That is not what I said. Don't destroy anything. Shut down. Confirmed. Destroy everything. As far as rockets at the, well, altered video footage of Dr. Eggman. No! So it seems the good doctor, well, perished. As David Shield is also listening to this. He was a pretty smart man. No, he isn't. He focused on those robots all the time. Everyone knows Quark research is more important than just some silly robots. Must agree, yes. After all, robots are nothing special. Our Quarks in this era could easily take out robots. Did no one know how smart Dr. Eggman was? As David Shield speaks up. Listen, Dr. Eggman may have focused on robots, but he was a very intelligent person. At least give him some credit for his work. What, none of his work even got credited by anyone. No one wanted his stupid machines. After all, they're nothing but useless junk. As David Shield. Why are they treating his projects like this? Is there something I don't know about? And that is the end of What If Deku Was Dr. Eggman, Part 1. Make sure to like and subscribe for more.